Hey, it's Dr. Yazdan. I was gonna do a talk about the steps of a hair transplant and what parts I feel are the most important. So when a patient comes in for a hair transplant, there's a couple different things that go on. The first thing is we do a hairline design. And that's something that should be done by a doctor or a physician, someone who is well aware of, how a hairline should be designed, what's going to look natural and what's going to look right based on a patient's face and their geometry. Moving on from that, then we have scalp prep and then anesthesia. Anesthesia should again be done by a physician. That should never be delegated to like staff or something like that. After that, we do the graft extraction, and what I'm talking about right now is an FUE surgery. We do the graft extraction, and again, that is definitely a part that needs to be done by a physician. Technicians or assistants should never be harvesting grafts from the back of a patient's scalp. And then moving on from that, we do more anesthesia. So if we're doing the hairline, we're going to do anesthesia in the hairline. Again, that should be done by the doctor, never an assistant or a technician. And then we go to site creation. That's creation of all the recipient site incisions. I think that's probably the most important part of a hair transplant. Definitely should be done by a physician. You're making, call it 2,000 small incisions into a patient's scalp. We do those by hand, they're done by me. That dictates the angulation of the hair. And that's pretty much one of the most important things, because if the hairs are all misangulated, it's not gonna flow, it's not gonna look natural. Also, the sizing of the incisions and the depth of the incisions have to match the corresponding grafts. So it's a very, very important, delicate part of the process. And again, that should be done by a hair transplant surgeon that knows what they're doing. The last part is the placement of the grafts into the sites. We do placement two ways. One of the ways we do it is by hand with forceps, and the other way that we do it is with implanters. And again, depending on how the procedure is done, we do that team-based, because we're doing, call it 2,000 to 3,000 grafts, and there's no way that one person can transplant 2,000 or 3,000 grafts. And if someone is saying that's what they're doing, it's very, very inefficient. You're leaving live tissue out of the body for very long, and you want to get those live grafts back into the scalp as soon as possible. So a team-based approach to that is really the best way, in my opinion, because you're very efficient. You're able to get the grafts back in as soon as possible, and they're out of the body for a less period of time. So those are the steps. Again, I think the most important is the site creation. Probably the second most important is the extraction, and probably a tie to that is the hairline design, because if your design is wrong, then the procedure can never look natural or right. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you guys looking for a hair transplant procedure, and if you have any questions, feel free to always reach out to us.